Okay, so I had a request to show you how I actually put a real napkin into the Bible and not one that I printed myself. So I'm going to redo one that I've already done that was on request around this boat napkin. This is just an absolute gorgeous napkin. It was a gift, so I can't even tell you where it come from. But yeah, let's just kind of put this in the Bible. So I have already used the one side of this, and what you can do with napkins is that you don't have to use them in a nice little square. You can see the way that this extends up. I was able to maximize like all of that side of it as well to use as the sky. So I've already taken I think I've taken the edge. Yeah, I've taken the edge off this already. So I'm just literally gonna just remove the edge. So I want to go as close as I can to that mountain range at the top, and just so I'm left with just the sky. So I find if you kind of put your nails where you kind of want to go right to that edge, you can actually get in fairly close. Some people do use a paintbrush and kind of wet it, but I find that works quite well. So even just the page in the Bible like that it's so simple, but it looks really effective. What I did do last time was that I painted over the top just to try and kind of blend a little bit of sky. I'm not an artist, so I'm really not good at matching colours like that. Definitely something that I need a little bit more practice with. But I was just looking at the napkin and I was wondering if I could kind of do something a little bit different and kind of move that up, and instead of layering the top with sky, I wondered whether I could just relayer some of the dark that's here. So kind of lay it over some of these mountains to kind of build it up in that direction. That would be a little bit too silly, I think, because it's got an extra bit of brown. But I do think if let me just have a play here with this. If we use the rest of the napkin, I actually think that we can layer this up quite well, so I don't need to worry then about matching with paint. So I'm just ripping across both sides of the napkin here to get both of these hilly things in. So yeah, I think that would work quite well to there. And then if I rip that there, and then I could literally, actually sometimes it works to kind of turn these round. That doesn't work though. But I could have that same pattern there in front of that. I don't know how silly that looks. Or I have got a little bit more dirt here at the bottom. So let me just take the dirt off and see what we've got left. I'm going to just go around the boat. This is one of the great things about being creative. Like, I never fully know how it's going to look when I start these things out. You just kind of keep going and kind of just using whatever inspiration that I've got. Let me just finish ripping these. Okay, so I have got some extra couple bits of dirt here. I think that works quite well to have that side, because that will literally put a plant that side. And I think if I did that, I would literally only need the one lot of trees. I think I could actually make that work, because what I've got there is yet another bush. So what doesn't work quite well is if you put something kind of in the middle and you want to blend it in, it doesn't work well if it's got a straight edge, because it definitely shows up. So I just try to kind of just go across the edge and just pull that little bit off. Yep, so that would go there. So I could literally kind of, oh, I've got a straight bit that side as well. Let me just pull that off. So I could literally kind of layer that up there. And I think as long as I move that white bit there, I think that would actually work out quite well. So what we do first then, I've got my heat tools already there. I'm just literally gonna prep my page with just a little bit of protection. Make sure we've got that there. And then we're just gonna go straight in with the cling wrap and put that first layer down and then just see where we end up. Okay, so again, I'm just literally placing that over the page and then I'm just going to cut it. So this would be the first one, and I want to get that as close to the top as possible to make sure that it's all covered. Actually, what I'm going to do just before I start is make sure that I just rip this edge up a little bit, just so it will blend in with whatever I'm going to put on the bottom. If you keep that straight edge there, it will definitely show through. I've already kind of had that experience of doing that. It takes a bit of time just to kind of just go across the bottom, and I'm just literally kind of pinching the napkin and just pulling the bottom edge off, literally. Okay, so there's the napkin. Make sure the paper's fully covered. Okay, I'm happy with where that is, and that it's actually, if I bring that down a little bit, I can maximize my bottom, and I've still got a bit of sky that I could put on the top to cover that little bit if need be. Okay, so paper goes over, and then just literally take your heat press and then just start kind of just iron over it, really. Just make sure you only iron over the napkin. Try not to go over the edge of the white paper on the Bible that's showing that's not covered with napkin, because it will just start to seal that to the page a little bit too much. Okay, so that started to stick quite nice. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to go in there straight with the iron just over that bit, just to kind of just make sure that's all smooth. And then I'm going to take just the small heat gun. I've had lots of people just ask what this is. It is a Clover, if that helps. It's a Clover mini iron. So I just ordered it from Amazon. You can already see kind of all the dirt that's starting to, or the kind of the burnt bits of cling film that stick to this, but it does actually still work really, really well. So we're just going to go over literally and kind of just start melting the edge of the cling film. And this really does make a difference in kind of one, sealing the edges. And yeah, and just getting that kind of on the page as you need it. Not too much there, and then we're taking that right into the corner. And then yeah, it's just making sure that we're smoothing out kind of any of the lumps, any of the bumps, and keeping it nice and flat. There we go. Okay, now I do need to come down this edge and kind of just melt this side off. Okay, I'm just gonna literally cut these edges here. Kind of all puckers up a little bit too much. So I'm not sure who's actually tried this method yet. It'd be good to kind of see some of your pictures or kind of hear a little bit of your feedback if you've tried this. Okay, and then I'm just going to come down and seal the bottom edge. Oh, I've got a little crinkle there. Let me just smooth that out. Okay, just concentrating a little bit there. Okay, that's mostly stuck. A few little bits here. Okay, and then I'm just going to go back over that with the iron and just kind of just flatten all those bits out. This is a really nice napkin. It's got a really nice linen feel to it. It does feel a little bit kind of fabric like. What I'm going to do is, just because I really need to go over these edges, I'm just literally going to cut this excess off here just so I can start to flatten those edges completely. Okay, that's rubbish, and then I'm just going to cut along this top edge. I'm going to keep a little bit of that back because I can see that I'm definitely going to need it. Okay, so that's fairly stuck down. I'm just literally going to just go over the edges of everything now. A little bit safer to do it now all the cling wrap's gone. Okay, so that's all kind of nicely stuck down. There's a few little bits that didn't quite stick, especially here in that corner. So literally what I'm going to do is peel it up a little bit and just literally put some wrap back in that corner and just literally kind of remelt it. And that's the kind of good thing with this, that if you do make a mistake, it is really easy to fix it. Okay, that bit will come off. I think all of that's stuck down fairly nicely. Okay, so now I'm just going to layer some of these images, what we've just literally looked at. So I think this one is the best one. That's going to go over there. What I need to do now is just remove this kind of extra bits of white, just so we're kind of left with the green hill of the mountains. I'm hoping this is going to work. Sometimes it's complete trial and error. Right here, there, just do the second bit of this mountain. Yeah, as soon as you leave a little bit of white in, sometimes it blends in, but where you're blending napkins, you're best to try and use the same colour kind of theme. Okay, and that's that bit done. Okay, so I'm just going to literally kind of add that in there. That will just kind of start to layer that. So again, I'm just going to take a little piece of cling film. We don't need too much now, but because it's on a roll, it's kind of hard to use it any different. But what I'm going to literally do with this piece is I'm going to cut it big enough, and then I'm just literally going to cut it in half and just put one piece to the side for the next layer. Okay, so I am going to overlap this over that image because I do need kind of some of this to blend. It will mean that will stick to it, but we can easily work around that. So I'm putting these probably about there. I think would work quite well. And again, I'm just going to go in with the tiny iron on this one. I'm not going to bother with the big one. Oh, that just melted that too quick because I moved. Okay, that worked. I did go a little bit too much into that corner, which I need to just rip that off a little bit now. There we go, that's fine. Sometimes I'm okay with it being rough and ready. I'm not too much of a perfectionist. Just a little bit. Okay, so I think that's mostly stuck down. There's a few little bits that might need to be re-glued, but on the whole that's pretty much down. And on the page, where did I put that extra cling film? Okay, right there. Okay, so I'm going to open that out, and then I'm just going to apply that bottom layer to that. If I put that up a little bit too high. This is a little bit bigger, so I'm going to put a piece of paper over this and just go in with the bigger iron. Okay, especially because we're over the bottom of the page here, so that's fairly easy just to get that one ironed in. And then we're just literally going to, oh, that's starting to peel that up. There we go. Making sure it doesn't peel that top layer off. But yeah, it's just a case of working really slowly for everything, kind of down the side, and melt that in, and then just literally kind of melting off the bottom corner. Okay, so I've definitely got a little bit here that's not melted that well, so again I'm just going to literally take some cling film and just literally put it underneath the napkin where it's not glued, and then just literally iron back over it, and then it'll just start to take a little tiny little bit there. But I think on the whole that's glued down quite nice. Okay, so I've got one more little bit here of flowers. I wonder whether to extend those flowers up and leave a little kind of thing there, because I have done it a little bit too low to kind of keep that river, but I think if I kind of just extend those flowers there, that will build that side up quite nicely, I think. So I'm gonna add that in. It's always quite tricky to do this because as soon as you touch it, it does melt with this, so you need to be kind of quick at the same time as just kind of grabbing the cling film, so it's kind of firm and quick at the same time. I think does that quite well. There we go, that's nicely done. There's just a tiny little bit there that's not gone as I wanted, so I'm gonna get a fresh piece of cling film. Not sure what kind of days everybody's had. I finished work for the weekend, so I get time to play. So that's the good thing about this. This is kind of one of my kind of real outlets. So I've got quite a challenging job in the UK where I lead for one of the local governments on violence, abuse, modern slavery, gun crime, domestic abuse, sexual violence. So it can be kind of quite an intense job. So this definitely gives me just that opportunity to really you know what, I'm going to leave my little thing, I think. Yeah, just give me that chance just to kind of relax a little bit and kind of just, not my camera, just, yeah, just relax from my day and just kind of change, especially when you're kind of working with kind of a lot of kind of darkness sometimes in people's lives. So yeah, I really like this kind of avenue. Okay, so I think that's done. There's a few little bits that I need to trim off there, but hopefully that gives you a good overview of, still don't know whether to cover that. What would you do? Would you cover it? Would you leave it? I'd love to see your comments. No, I think I already know what I need to do. I think I need to cover it. Not that your comments aren't important, but I think I'm just literally going to put another little section in just to cover that. Looks a bit weird having a patch of water in grass when we got all that lovely sea above it. Let's see, is that gonna work like that? Yeah, I think that will work. Okay, I've got some more of that there. I think it's just enough to really kind of cover that there. Yeah, so I am fitting this into the passage around Jesus calming that storm. So I will think about what words I want to put on there and what I want that to look like. Just a little bit that didn't work there. So yeah, I definitely kind of like your comments to kind of see kind of how you're finding these videos, and definitely if there's any other requests. I'm quite enjoying making them, actually. I know it's probably me rambling a little bit, and I've generally never done anything like this before, so it's all a learning experience for me. So I'm happy to show you a few little things while I just play and create. So yeah, just kind of maybe just like and subscribe the channel, especially just to kind of get it off the ground a little bit. But definitely kind of I really think that this is a really effective method that looks really good. That just looks like you know, that page was already created in the Bible. There's no wrinkles, it's nice and kind of smooth in the Bible. Problem is now I'm going to kind of go and do something with words or something and just mess it up a little bit. But that's fine. I'm okay with that as long as you are. So yeah, just thank you for taking that time out to watch the video.